The level of public transport, I suppose, offered to Sligo's second town, which is Tubbercurry, is woeful. You know, and I'm not exaggerating saying that. The main service on offer is Bus Eireann 64 Expressway, which connects Derry to Galway via Donegal, Sligo and Knock Airport. It's a fantastic service. It's usually very reliable, delivered by professional, really friendly drivers 7 times a day. And it's supplemented by the 964 bus, which is operated twice a day by Fido O'Donnell's. But there are also 2 other buses, you know, which come once a week. 2022 census show that Tubbercurry has a population of 2,307 people, and it's about 10% of the population of Sligo town, considerably larger than the population of Strandhill, Collooney and Ballysadare, which are the next largest towns. Tubbercurry's population has increased by a staggering 90% since 2002 and over 16% between the census of 2016 and 2022. But just as a way of comparison, there are 31 buses running on the S2 route between Strandhill and Ross's Point, which is via Sligo, which is a route approximately 20 kilometres. And I live actually on that route, so and it's fantastic to have that service. But there's only 34 kilometres, which is only 14 kilometres longer than the S2 route. Sligo to Tubbercurry should be an easy commute on public transport. People living in Tubbercurry work in Sligo town. So, the 64 bus is an intercity bus, so it's not a commuter bus. It seats between 50 and 55 passengers, and consequently there are very few seats available for commuters wishing to travel on a daily basis between Tubbercurry and Sligo. Full adult fare from Ross's Point to Strandhill on the S2 is €2, and it's less with the Leap card. But the full adult fare from Tubbercurry to Sligo is €15. And Tubbercurry doesn't have any other available option besides this intercity bus. It's not a commuter bus. That Tubbercurry and its own surrounding hinterland has no commuter bus, and this needs to be addressed. But 64 is the only publicly owned transport link between Tubbercurry and Sligo, and it must be retained. It was announced by Bus Eireann that they were going to scrap the number 52 expressway, which serves communities in Mayo and Galway. That's what's raised this fear. And I've been contacted by loads of people of it because they rely so heavily on this only bus. Can we get confirmation from Bus Eireann that this service is not going to be withdrawn? So in the case of the 52 bus, the number of available journeys in each direction would drop from 11 per day to just 5 per day. So were the 64 bus to be withdrawn, the consequences would be worse. At an aggregate of 9 services per day would just plummet to 2. And they were provided by the private service by Fido O'Donnell. Based on the government's transport policy, avoid, shift and improve, which we're trying to get people off roads, out of their cars and onto public transport, it's so important that this route is retained. And I just want to get confirmation from it. It's not being taken away, and it's not going to be taken away.
Important to know that Route 64 is not one of the services which was withdrawn and continues to operate as normal.
Okay, so we can take it as a given that it's not going to happen in the future.